This is Pinfalls and Pixels, where wrestling meets gaming.
Welcome everyone to Sunday Night Heat!
Sunday night. For most people, it's a quiet moment to prepare for the week ahead. But for wrestling fans in the late 90s and early 2000s, Sunday nights meant one thing: WWF Sunday Night Heat. As a kid, I remember sitting in front of the TV, mesmerized by the glow of the pay-per-view arena flashing on my screen. It was exhilarating, a sneak peek into the larger-than-life event that I couldn't afford to watch. Sure, I couldn't see the main card, but those pay-per-view Sunday Night Heats made me feel like I was part of the action. It wasn't just a show, it was an experience. From Mankind forklift pinning The Rock for the WWF Championship during Halftime Heat, to rising stars like Trish Stratus and Lita debuting, Heat was a gateway into the madness of the Attitude Era. But like so many wrestling greats, the show fell victim to shifting times and priorities, quietly fading away after a decade-long run. So, what happened? How did Sunday Night Heat rise to become a fan favorite, only to burn out as an afterthought? Today we're gonna break it all down. It's 1998 and the Attitude Era is in full swing. The WWF is dominating pop culture, with larger-than-life characters like Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and Mankind leading the charge. Vince McMahon, always one to seize an opportunity, had a vision: create a Sunday night wrestling show that would do three things. It would drive pay-per-view buys, keep the fans hooked between Raw and SmackDown, and give mid-card talent a platform to shine. On August 2nd, 1998, Sunday Night Heat made its debut on the USA Network, a move that would strategically position it as an integral part of WWF's programming. The USA Network was already home to Monday Night Raw, giving Heat a built-in audience and a prime spot on a platform familiar to wrestling fans. Raw's established audience would naturally flow into Heat, ensuring strong viewership numbers from day one. This alignment also allowed Heat to capitalize on Raw's success by introducing complementary storylines and matches, making it feel like an essential part of the weekly wrestling narrative rather than just an add-on. This collaboration wasn't just convenient, it created a programming block that reinforced WWF's dominance on cable television. From the very first episode, it was clear that this wasn't just a B show. Vince McMahon introduced his son Shane McMahon as the host. Flanked by models, Shane added youthful energy and a cocky charm to the commentary table alongside Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler. The show drew over 4 million viewers. The purpose of Sunday Night Heat was twofold: give fans a taste of the action leading up to pay-per-views and act as a proving ground for mid-carders and future stars. From its outset, it carved out its own space in wrestling programming, offering a mix of live matches, character-building segments, and high-profile storylines. For a couple hours every Sunday, the WWF's larger-than-life world was just a click away. As Sunday Night Heat gained traction, it became more than just a pre-show for pay-per-views. It offered exclusive matches, shocking moments, and unforgettable debuts. Let's relive some of its most iconic highlights. On January 31st, 1999, in one of the most creative moves in wrestling history, Heat would air an empty arena match between The Rock and Mankind for the WWF Championship during the halftime of the Super Bowl. It was a chaotic spectacle. Forklifts, steel chairs, and even popcorn were used as weapons. Mankind would ultimately pin The Rock under a pallet with a forklift to win the championship. This match drew an astonishing 6.6 TV rating, cementing its place in wrestling history. I even remember watching this match as a kid with my family during the halftime of the Super Bowl. On one of those really old big screen TVs, those big real heavy ones. Yeah, those. Halftime Heat wasn't just a clever marketing move, it was a testament to WWF's willingness to innovate and push boundaries. The concept would inspire other promotions to explore unconventional match formats such as cinematic bouts and unique stipulations, leveraging that element of surprise to captivate audiences. Events like AEW's Stadium Stampede and WWE's Money in the Bank matches at corporate headquarters owe some creativity inspiration to this groundbreaking moment. Fans who tuned in got to see a match unlike anything they'd ever witnessed before. It wasn't about big arenas or roaring crowds, it was about the storytelling and being unpredictable. The image of Mankind pinning The Rock under a forklift is one of the most iconic moments in Heat history. On February 14th in 1999, one of the most memorable segments saw Stone Cold Steve Austin trap Vince McMahon in a steel cage. Disguised as a ring crew member, Austin ambushed Vince and delivered a brutal beatdown. The segment showcased everything fans loved about the Attitude Era: rebellion, chaos, and Austin at his absolute best. Though short, it was a masterclass in building tension and delivering payoff. In March of 1999, we have to talk about the time Bradshaw and Farouk of the APA turned a match with Public Enemy into a straight-up brawl. The ECW veterans reportedly rubbed the APA the wrong way backstage, and what followed was one of the most brutal matches ever aired. It was less wrestling and more beatdown, a moment that's permanently burned into fans' memories. This was Heat at its rawest, a reminder that anything could happen. On January 24th, 1999, before the Royal Rumble, Vince McMahon decreed that no automobiles except limousines were allowed at the arena. His goal? To prevent Stone Cold Steve Austin from arriving. But Austin, being Austin, showed up in a monster truck limo and crushed several cars in the parking lot. It was over the top in the best way possible, embodying the sheer audacity of the era. While most of WWF's big moments took place on Raw, SmackDown, or pay-per-views, Heat did have its share of historic title matches, often serving as a stage for unexpected surprises and unique storytelling. While Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-views carried the weight of major angles and blockbuster matches, Heat provided a different kind of excitement. A platform for underdog stories and shocking title changes that caught fans off guard. This made the show feel essential for those wanting to witness moments that could shift the landscape of the mid-card divisions. On February 13, 2000, S.A. Rios captured the Light Heavyweight Championship from Gillberg in his debut match, a thrilling moment for fans who witnessed Lita's incredible ringside debut. On March 18th in 2001, Crash Holly dethroned Dean Malenko for the Light Heavyweight Championship, showcasing his versatility beyond his famous Hardcore Championship reigns. Wrestlers like Lita, who debuted alongside S.A. Rios, immediately captured fans' attention with their high-flying moves, helping to elevate women's wrestling to new heights. Just like Lita, Trish Stratus' early appearances managing Test and Albert laid the groundwork for her future dominance in the women's division. Trish Stratus made her debut on March 19th in 2000, scouting Test and Albert before becoming their manager. This was the beginning of her journey to becoming one of WWE's greatest female wrestlers. Lita would debut alongside S.A. Rios on February 13th in 2000. Her red hair and jaw-dropping moonsaults would immediately set her apart, and she quickly became a fan favorite. The high-flying moves and fearless attitude that Lita brought to the ring became her signature, marking her as a pioneer for women's wrestling. Other stars like Kurt Angle and the Hardy Boys and Edge also used Heat as a launching pad, showcasing their skills before becoming household names. For many of these wrestlers, Heat wasn't just a stepping stone, it was a proving ground. But as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. By the early 2000s, Sunday Night Heat began to lose its prominence. In October of 2000, Heat moved from the USA Network over to MTV. The show would begin airing live from WWF New York, with Michael Cole and Taz calling the action. But the change in the network led to a drop in viewership, and fans started to see Heat as less essential. The flashy setting at WWF New York, while novel, just couldn't sustain long-term interest. When SmackDown premiered in August of 1999, Heat would briefly become a recap show, focusing on music videos and interviews. This shift would cause confusion among fans who had come to expect live matches and new storylines, leading to frustration and a sense of detachment from the show. The recap format diluted Heat's identity as a platform for original content and instead made it feel like a filler program. This temporary change really hurt fan loyalty, as viewers began to see it as non-essential compared to other WWF programming, diminishing its overall reputation during this period. While it eventually reverted back to its original format of airing exclusive matches, the damage had already been done. By the early 2000s, Sunday Night Heat was firmly relegated to a secondary role, a far cry from its prominent beginnings. By 2005, Heat was no longer airing on traditional television in the United States. Instead, it became an online exclusive program, available only on WWE's website. While this move showcased WWE's forward-thinking approach to digital content, it would alienate a significant portion of the audience who were still reliant on cable and broadcast TV. The shift marked a departure from accessibility, as many fans at the time were unprepared for the transition to online streaming. This move to digital-first programming would highlight a major trade-off. While WWE was trying to position itself as a pioneer in online content, Heat lost its place as a household staple. Without the visibility of television, the show's audience dwindled, and its relevance in the weekly wrestling schedule all but disappeared. The final episode of Sunday Night Heat aired on May 30th in 2008, quietly marking the end of its decade-long run. It concluded with little fanfare, a stark contrast to the explosive debut that once captivated millions. Though Sunday Night Heat is gone, its legacy lives on. For over a decade, it provided a stage for the rising stars, a platform for unforgettable matches, and a showcase for moments that define the Attitude Era. From the debut of Trish Stratus, who would go on to redefine women's wrestling, to Lita's jaw-dropping introduction alongside S.A. Rios, Heat was often where future legends first stepped into the spotlight. Stars like Edge, Christian, and Kurt Angle all used the show as a proving ground, honing their craft before ascending to superstardom. Sunday Night Heat may be gone, but its spirit lives on in the memories of fans who tuned in every week. Now it's your turn to share your memories. What are your favorite moments? Did you witness Mankind's forklift pin? Or discover a future favorite like Lita, Trish, or even Edge? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a dive into wrestling history. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.